In this chapter, we're going to talk about how you actually update and communicate your privacy practices. Obviously, the most important step is to make sure that you have a privacy policy that covers all of your online communication activities and data collection activities. Last year, we actually did a comprehensive study of the top 100 websites where we reviewed their privacy policy practices. And the interesting thing we found is that the good news is the vast majority of companies do have privacy policies in place. However, when we did a deeper dive analysis of the privacy policies, we found some interesting things as well as some disturbing things. On the disturbing side was the fact that most privacy policies are significantly long and also written to an education level that's not in line with the average population. And so in effect, what you end up with, companies put a lot of hard work and energy into making sure they have a good privacy policy in place, but they end up writing it in a way that the average consumer or the average customer isn't either going to be able to spend the time or isn't going to be able to comprehend what's being covered in the privacy policy. So in effect, it ends up backfiring on them that the customer or the consumer can, in many cases, end up becoming more concerned by what they don't understand in the policy than what was in there in the first place. Some of the other things that we uncovered was that while many companies are very good at disclosing the fact that they are collecting lots of data and do make some references to what they are doing with the data they're collecting, many companies still are not making adequate disclosures on the information that they're collecting, how they're sharing it, who they're sharing it with, and what they're doing with it, nor do they give you an opportunity to be able to opt out of that or give you any insight into how long they're actually going to be retaining your information. And so these are just a few of the best practices that are important for you to be able to build into your privacy policy. And again, make sure that your target audience is going to be able to understand what you're doing with your information in order so that you can help build a trusted channel of communication with your customers. One of the other interesting pieces of information that we found out in this study is that while 98% of the top 100 companies all had privacy policies, very few of the companies, well under 10%, actually had a mobile optimized privacy policy. And so as more and more businesses are moving to mobile as a key communication vehicle with their customers, it's going to be equally important to make sure that you can take your mobile practices and adequately cover those via your privacy policies and recognize the fact that the mobile form factor is different than the traditional web form factor when it comes to viewing documents. So hopefully you'll be able to view one of our later chapters where we actually address in more detail some of the best practices around putting in place a sound mobile privacy strategy. Thank you.